Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I have been absent for a while because I felt the call to step away, especially from YouTube. I was also absent last week from the TikToks because I was like, the flow isn't there, the creativity isn't there. And I have been working with cacao, so ceremonial cacao, and my heart chakra. And in doing that this morning, I had this very opening heart chakra energy that just like my heart chakra felt like it was coming out. Like I was like, whoa, and it opened up. And I heard the words, open up your camera, get in front of the camera again. And I was like, first of all, wherever I was during this meditation, I was nowhere near my phone. That's for sure. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, later you'll get in front of the camera and everything. So here I am. And I love this. I want this space to be a place for not just you to learn about your spirituality, but you to also come for healing. And that's why I think I'm going to take this in a different direction. So I've got my cards here, the Wild Woman cards, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a heart chakra healing at the end as well. But I definitely, the way that my YouTube channel was going before, it just wasn't flowing. Does that make sense? It wasn't flowing. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. And it just kind of felt a little off, especially my last video that I made, which is why I step away. Anytime I feel like the energy is not working or it's not good, I will step away from it. I have before, and I'll do it again if it happens, This is my creative space, and this is my space that I hope people come and they get the healing and the guidance that they need. So that's why I come to the use of the tubes. But anywho, hi, I am Bree. I am a shaman practitioner, Reiki healer, a spiritual reader and healer, plus I am also a shamanic teacher and coach as well. So, and I am the creator of the Unlock Your Intuition Within course, one of my most favorite courses, that is for sure. I believe that everyone should have freedom in their gifts, and everyone should be able to walk and trust their gifts and trust in themselves and be fully healed and able to connect to that divine energy of Mother Earth and the divine feminine and masculine, be able to walk into their shadows. I believe everybody should have this, which is why I teach it in many different forms, from my Patreon page to TikTok to here to anywhere that I can, including courses. So this is where we are today. Today I really want to go into the heart chakra and a little bit of healing for you as well. So let's go ahead and let's get to healing. Let's go into our heart chakra. So let's actually take it back a little bit. So we're going to talk about the divine feminine to begin with. And there's a point to this because I do believe that the heart chakra is a very divine feminine energy. So let's go back. Like we're going to go backwards on the times, like all the way back to almost the beginning. And back then, the divine feminine was something that was just admired and loved and appreciated. People came to women for their magic, for their gifts, for their medicine. They were portals to life. They still are portals to life, but we honored women. We honored the divine feminine. There were oracles and mediums and witches in the courts, and there was, people just came from so far to talk to some of these women. And then all of a sudden, the divine masculine, who honored the divine feminine for years and years and years, came up and said, I'm no longer. They became hurt in some form. Something along the way happened where they were no longer the divine masculine, but now a hurt masculine. And a hurt masculine will always try to hurt a divine femme. Always. They will always go after some sort of femme until they become the healed masculine. And same with the divine feminine. When they are no longer a healed femme, they will go after the masculine, right? The divine masculine. You can see it on both sides. It's never one-sided. But in this case, we're talking about the divine feminine and how the masculine did come. And all of a sudden you saw witches being burned at the stake and women being hanged and losing their heads. You know, Anne Boleyn, I truly believe that she was a witch. But she had something about her that her gift wasn't used for complete darkness. She knew what she was doing, but she also knew in some form or another that she was bringing a royalty into this world that was going to create goodness in this world. Because there is a quote, and I'm a huge history buff, but there is a quote from one of her journals that says, "My daughter will be the good that this world needs," right? It's something along those terms. But she knew that Elizabeth was going to be the Queen of England and create the Golden Age. In some way, she just knew that. And this is why she tried to get Henry to see this. But of course, Henry wanted a boy, off with her head, right? So, you know, we saw this happening. And so what happened is, over time, the divine feminine became the hurt feminine as well, the unhealed. And we, all of a sudden, we have these two, the masculine and the feminine, that are no longer healed. And there's no balance there anymore. And how does this put your heart chakra? Well, like I said, I feel like your heart chakra, which is, by the way, in the middle of your chest, is a very feminine chakra. Because love is very feminine. Mothers love unconditionally. At least they're supposed to. And, you know, you look at Mother Earth, and it's a very feminine, you know, the plants, the trees, every time I've connected to her, I felt a very feminine energy. There's always been like a masculine over here, but her feminine always comes out strong in front of her. And so you always feel that feminine energy. And that's your heart chakra then has been through a lot, through lifetimes and lifetimes we have seen this. And now all of a sudden we're in a place where there's a lot of healing happening and there's a lot of change happening in the world. And our heart chakra is the thing that is needing the most healing. Our heart chakra is what we need to really focus on right now. We have gone through a lot in the last few years, you know, but well before 2020, actually, we've gone through natural disasters, non-natural disasters, all diseases, that kind of stuff. We've seen the world go up and down and up and down. And this has caused depression, anxiety to spike more than it had before. And now we're even seeing a lot of autism coming forward in kids. But also with that said, I want to take a moment to let you guys in on a little thing that I had also realized when my daughter kept saying, "Mom, I want to go to the moon." And I was like, this is so out of, what? And then she started to say, "I want to go home." And I'm like, honey, we are home. Like, we would be sitting in our home and she would say, "I want to go home." And then she'd come back out and she'd be going, "Mommy, I want to go to the moon." And I'm like, huh? Where is this coming from? You know, I call her my moon child. I say, I love you, little moon. Like, but never like have, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm sitting here confused. So when I meditated, that's when I found out that she's one of the moon kids, the moon children that came down. So here we have these moon children now that are born in this world. And I'm sitting here going, and these moon children are going to help with that balance as well. They're supposed to help bring us into this new world. They're supposed to help open up our gifts even more. They're supposed to help us with change. And so they have a lot of work to do. But to bring this into that feminine energy, into that heart chakra energy, as we're seeing all these things, our heart is closing up. I see it in many clients where our heart chakra just kind of closes to protect itself. And it almost, like, I was sitting there in a Reiki session with one of my clients and I was like almost knocking on her heart chakra, like, "You gonna open up, honey?" I mean, digging into wound after wound, like all this crystallized energy and everything. And I'm like, hello? And eventually we did get her heart chakra to open up and it bled out. It was like, whew. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why it was holding on to a lot. But that's just it. We have been holding on to a lot of things, heartache, stress, things that have happened. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people have lost their homes. Some people have lost their family members. Some people have been through trauma after trauma after trauma. And so it's just natural for your heart chakra to close, to protect itself. It's just natural for it to shut down. I was one of those that, in fact, when I lived in South Carolina, I think I kept my heart chakra guarded the most. And then when I moved here, with everything that happened, with the people that I thought were my friends, my heart chakra shut down completely. And in the last few weeks, I have come to the understanding that in order for you to manifest a beautiful life, you have to manifest from your heart. But in order for you to live the life that you've always wanted to live, you have to do it from a heart. When we lead with a heart-filled life, we lead with a beautiful life. So it's time for us to open up our heart chakras. It's time for us to heal. And that's going to take a lot of work. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something that's super, super, super easy, and that's okay. So how do we begin to do this? Well, I like ceremonial cacao. That's one of my favorites. I don't do it every single day, although I've been called to maybe start doing it every single day. I just don't know in what form, because I like to have the time where I can step into that and really open up my heart chakra. So like this morning, when it was a 2-hour thing where I could sit there, I woke up with the sun and I sat there with the cacao, and I went in after drinking, and I went into like a deep meditation, and my heart chakra just opened up like it never opened before. It was like I put the key in the door and it, right? So using ceremonial cacao is a beautiful way to do it. I always like to Reiki beforehand, and anybody can do this, where you just send positive energy, set your intentions for the healing of your heart chakra. And then you can listen if you don't go outside, which I highly recommend you do this outside. I've done it inside and outside, and I honestly, being outside in nature with the birds and the everything you can hear, just the wind and the rustle of the leaves, there's something about that just makes you connect even more. It just makes you really and truly connect to your heart chakra. But you can do it inside as well and listen to 432 hertz music. But I would give yourself time. Especially when you first start doing it, I would give yourself like an hour to 2 hours to really tap into your heart chakra. And I know that seems like a lot of time, but we're working on something that is very big. This is a very important heart chakra. For years, I think I focused a lot on my lower chakras, and now we're starting to go upwards, right? Okay. So, I mean, I did work a lot on my third eye as well for the longest time also. I think it's Joe Dispenza is his name. He wrote Becoming Supernatural. And he talks about living a heartfelt life and how it's very important that whenever you're wanting to manifest something or you're wanting to live that most abundant life, you do it from the heart. You lead from the heart. And so this is super important. You lead from the heart. The next thing is, of course, meditating. I would meditate every single day if I were you. So 10 to 15 minutes at 432 hertz, just start meditating every single day, where you could just imagine yourself going into your heart chakra and feeling that green energy just surrounding you and flowing out from the heart chakra and flowing all the way around you. But at least give yourself 10 to 15 minutes. And then, sorry, if you can expand that longer, one thing I've noticed is that when you become comfortable in your meditation and you just want to stay there, go further, because there's something there. There's always something sitting there. And sometimes we can't, sometimes we don't have that time. We just have the time for the 10 to 15, and that's okay. But if you're in that moment where you can really go in further, I highly suggest it. Like, follow that little nudge that says, come on, come on. The next thing is moving your body. So we live in a world where it's so easy to get junk food. It's so easy to get fast food and things that clog our heart. Now, our heart chakra is obviously connected to the heart organ, right? That is the main part of your body that it's obviously connected to. So start eating heart healthy foods like kale and greens, a lot of greens. As much greens as you possibly can get into your diet, I would highly recommend. I love me some green peppers. But start eating healthier. Start being mindful of the food that you put into your body. And on top of that, start moving your body. Going for a walk exercise. I started doing yoga again, which I'm at the beginner's yoga because I haven't done yoga since before my daughter was born, so everything is kind of like back up and I can barely even touch my toes. So we're back at the beginner's yoga, plus I do physical therapy for my back. And so those are the ways that I have been trying to move my body, as well as walking every single day. I do try to get in my 10,000 steps. I don't have a way to really track my steps because I can't wear watches, they break. The Aura ring just seems like $400 for a freaking ring. No, thank you. So unless I have my phone with me, it's really hard for me to track my steps, but I try to get in those 10,000 steps. I'm assuming I'm doing it every day because I'm walking a lot. So let's just say we are, okay? Let's just say we are. But move your body and dance. Dance as much as you can. When you start to just enjoy life and you start to just move your body and you're swaying with the music, that's gonna do something to your heart chakra that's just gonna help it open up that much more. It's going to help work in your heart chakra, okay? Dancing has always been something that is super important in my life. I was a ballerina, tap, jazz, clogging, like all of the dances, and I loved it. I did it since I was 6 years old until I graduated high school, and I probably would have gone on further, but I made other choices instead. So here we are, which is okay. I still dance, I still do the ballet, I still tap, I still do a lot of things that I used to do. And I dance with my daughter as well. Dance with your daughter, with your kids. Not everybody here has a daughter, but if you have kids, put them in there. There's something about that laughter that really opens up my heart chakra even more. Like when you're sitting in that moment, you know, and be present in the moment, be present in your kids' lives. Put the freaking phone down, okay? Put it down. My phone is a tool that is used for me. So I use it for my business. And when I do get on TikTok, I have trained it to only show me videos that I need to see. So as far as like manifesting or a message that I need to hear, and then it clicks out. It's really funny. My phone will actually click out of TikTok after 3 videos. So I'm not scrolling the whole time. I think it's because I sent that intention. I don't know how I did that, but anyways, it does that. But stop scrolling through everything. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Our phones actually have EMF waves, and so it takes our energy. It's actually meant to absorb our energy, and those EMF waves can actually really damage our energy. It can really hurt our energy as well. This is why I always suggest shungite. Like I have shungite everywhere in my home. My phone, when I'm sleeping, is on shungite, so the EMF waves are no longer coming off of my phone. It soaks up those EMF waves. I used to have shungite on the back of my phone, but this is a new one, so I need to replace it. But anyways, just those things are meant to take your energy, and it's meant to lower your vibrations and hurt your chakras. So when we step away from that, we're able to hear our heart chakra or do the healing that we need to do, right? So go ahead and close your phone after this video. Watch this video all the way through, by the way, and like and subscribe. I'm gonna throw that in there right now because I always forget, but then get off of your phone. And again, I use my phone for my own tools, my meditations, I use that. I got into this new app, and I'll put the link for you guys below. It's a free app, which is why I love it. And I actually, because I was listening to meditation music while I slept, and then commercials would come on and take me out of like my REM sleep, which is really bad for you. So I found this app and I'm really loving it, but it has a very long sleep meditation, and it has like heart meditations, music, and all sorts of stuff that you can do. But again, it's free, and that's why I love it. And there's no commercials. So again, that's why I like it. So I'll leave the link for you guys. But anyways, stepping away from your phone. So we've talked about meditating. We've talked about cacao, ceremonial cacao, moving your body, food. That's very important. Now start journaling. Start journaling. Gratitude journaling is probably something that I will say until I cannot breathe anymore. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I don't care if you can't come up with any affirmations. I don't care if you don't want to sit there for 10 minutes and journal. If you can find 2 minutes out of your day to write down 3 things that you're grateful for, you're already ahead of the game. You're already doing it. You're just putting it out into the universe. But your heart is a grateful place. It's a love. And so you're connecting to your heart chakra when you're pulling in that gratitude. When you're saying, I am grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. You're actually pulling in to your heart chakra. You're stepping into your heart chakra in that sense. So that's why I will always tell everybody, gratitude. Gratitude, 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 as much as gratitude as you possibly can, okay? Even if, like I said, even if all you can think of is 3 things. This last week, I think I went through the ringer. Between Mercury retrograde, the Lionsgate portal, and a full moon. What? I don't even think the full moon was last week. It was the week before, but whatever. And the Lionsgate portal was coming to an whatever. But and Mercury retrograde was actually coming to an end. So I really don't understand. I think it's because everything was coming to an end, maybe. I don't know. Anywho, but I went through the ringer, and I will tell you something. I could only think of 3 things that I was grateful for, and that's all that matters. If that's all you can think about, then that's all you need to put down, right? 3 things. That's it. If that's what you can come up with, then you're doing good. You're doing good, okay? There are people out there who cannot even come up with 3 things. And if you can't come up with 3 things, look around you. You know? I came up with my daughter, my dog, and my cat. 3 things, right? They were simple, they were easy, and they were right there. They were right in front of my face. So, you know, you can say things like the fact that I get up every morning and can start over again. The fact that I am breathing. And, you know, there's lots of things to be grateful for. But sometimes when we've been in that negative mindset for so long, it's going to take some time for you to get out of it. So start with your gratitude. Gratitude, 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 right? I'm also hearing that you need to stop being so hard on yourself. I think that we get caught up in every single thing that's going on in the world, that we sometimes, we're our worst critics. And we're so hard on ourselves, and we take ourselves down. And the truth is you don't need to do that. You can create a life out of nothing. You can, and you're not behind. You're not behind at all. You're not in a place where you're never gonna receive anything. Listen, some of the most amazing people out there received when they were in their 40s. They created their millions I know, what is her name? I don't know, but I know she was 45, and that's when she created her millions. So just think about that kind of stuff. I think J.K. Rowling's I'm a Harry Potter fan, okay? I don't care. I love me some Harry Potter. But I think she was in her 40s when she wrote the Harry Potter series. And look at it now, right? Like, it's this huge thing. You've got us millennials out here still loving on it, right? And my daughter will love it too. She just doesn't know yet. But anyways, it's never too late, and stop being so hard on yourself. And this is where, you know, you can use this heart chakra also to start working on self-love. Love yourself. Find ways that you can love yourself more. Find ways that you can take care of yourself. I spoil myself a lot, and I'm not afraid to admit it. But I used to live in a time where I would not spoil myself. I wouldn't buy myself anything. But now that I've had my daughter, I spoil myself, I think, more now than I did before her. And I spoil her off also, don't worry. She gets just as much as I do. But, you know, I want us to have like nice things, and I want us to be comfortable, and I want us to enjoy life. And so I spoil myself in many different forms, whether it be going to get a massage, or just getting a Reiki session, or a call with my shaman, or, you know, even a new piece of jewelry, or I feel like my physical therapy is also a way that I'm spoiling myself, because I'm really working on my healing journey, right? And even just like Getting into yoga is spoiling myself because I'm getting into that flow of the energies and everything. I just bought myself a new bed, so there's another way. But you can also do it without money. Last night took a very nice bath with rose water and read my book and just enjoyed the energy of the water. And so that's another form that you can spoil yourself. But love yourself, spoil yourself, take care of yourself, enjoy yourself. Be comfortable in who you are. Find a way that you are comfortable in who you are. Look in the mirror and say, I love you 3 times every single morning. Do it for 21 days and then keep going for 30, because it takes 21 days to make or break a habit, but it takes 30 for it to be implemented as an actual habit. So do it for 21 days and then keep going to the 30, okay? Really just love yourself, okay? Love yourself. So we've talked about the ceremonial cacao. We've talked about meditating. We talked about journaling, moving your body, eating better, loving yourself. So I think we've gotten into a lot of the heart chakra. I don't think I hear any other messages. So let's see what the Wild Woman deck has for us. And then we're gonna take just a moment. And if you're driving or you're moving or something like that, you can pause this video and come back to it later when we get into that part. But we're just gonna do a quick little scan into your heart chakra and just send a couple little love energy in there, and then you can go about your day. But I do ask that you not do it when you're driving, because it's just better, okay? It's just better. So let's see what messages we can get for a lovely divine feminine energy, heart healing chakra, allowing the wild woman to come back out. All of that. Release perfectionism. I love that. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Don't be so hard on yourself. Release the need to be perfect. We go through many, many, many different seasons and many, many different ones in our life. Like I said, I took a break from making videos because I was going through a season where I needed a break, where I just needed to step away to work on my energy that comes through these videos as well. So that had a lot to do with technology, but I'll also have seasons where I'm fully like, hello, what's up? And I'm creative, and everybody goes through this. So don't be so hard on yourself. And everything is not perfect. Life is not perfect. The world is not perfect. If it was, it would be boring, okay? So enjoy the non-perfection. Enjoy the moments where it's not perfect. Enjoy those moments, okay? Let's see if we can at least get one more. Because I feel like we need just one more just to help us out. Just one. Just one, guys, just one. She says just one. I don't think I'm missing any cards, but it's saying I am missing a card. I am. Well, hello. They were already on the ground. Oh, I love when they do that. So they're sitting there telling me you're missing 2 cards, and these are the 2 cards we want you to pull. And they were on the ground this whole time. Here they are. That's so funny. All right. So the first one is Howl with Fierceness, and the second one is Rest Deep. Let's talk about the Rest Deep first. So the Rest Deep, this is where we're going to go into our heart chakra. This is where we're going to do that major heart chakra energy, right? This is where we're going to go into the deep meditation, and we're going to allow that divine feminine to step forward. Yes, Mel, you have a divine feminine also. I'm not just talking to the feminine here, or to the women. We all have a feminine and a masculine within us. So yes, this means you as well. So this rest deep is, I can see like Snow White, where she's laying and she's surrounded by the forest animals and she's in the forest and everything and she's resting. Not the part where the guy comes and kisses her and she wakes up, because we're not getting rescued, right? We're not gonna be rescued, but it's soft. And there's just something in that softness and you needing to create a softer life for yourself. So that's where the rest deep comes in. It's just enjoy the rest. Know that it's in this place of quietness and in this place of rest that a lot of things happen, okay? A lot happens. Healing happens, joy happens, abundance happens, clarity happens. And then the last one is howl fiercely. This is where we are going to really tap into that wild woman and the divine feminine, walking barefoot on the earth, howling at the moon, dancing around the fire, being the woman that we were always supposed to be. Women are supposed to be these abundant creatures. We're supposed to, and men, again, this is your divine feminine that can come out as well. You can dance, you can walk barefoot, you can dance around the fire, you can howl at the moon as well, okay? But we were always meant to be these free creatures, just flowing freely with the earth and dancing and just enjoying ourselves and loving our bodies and just being these powerful, amazing, wonderful, feminine beauties. All women were supposed to always be like that. But somewhere along the way, we kind of got chopped down. And so did our masculine. So I encourage you, the next full moon, to go out and howl at the moon, okay? I really encourage you. I think when I'm recording this, it's during a new moon, but if you're watching this later on and it's during a full moon, then I really encourage you to go out and howl underneath the moon. There's something powerful in that. Listen, my daughter loves to howl, okay? But she is a wolf. She's a little wolf, so. But let that wild woman out. Let her rise. Let her be that passionate creature, the creativity. We were always meant to be creative and abundant and just so many things. And I think with all the things that are changing, that's gonna happen. It really and truly is. So I encourage you to go walk barefoot in the woods, in the mountains. If you live in the desert, just be careful of rattlesnakes, please. There's scorpions. Well, wherever you are, make sure it's a safe place, okay? I can't. Anywho. But I really encourage you to embrace that. Because as you embrace the wild woman, you embrace the divine feminine, okay? All right, let's get into a little bit of our heart chakra. So I want you to go ahead and get comfortable. And close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And a deep breath in and out. This next one, you're really gonna take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, I want you to even stick your tongue out and just and let it all out, okay? So deep breath in and out. You can even shake, move your body, sway around. Take one more deep breath in and out. We're gonna go into our heart chakra where you can feel that green energy just coming out and around you. It's so amazing and so wonderful and so pure. And that divine feminine steps forward. Embrace her, love her, appreciate her. Listen to her guidance, her wisdom. And then allow yourself to take her within. Allow her to step into that heart chakra as she gives the medicine, the wisdom, the magic. And as you're doing this, you're calling your own power back from everywhere, every place, and everything. And it's coming back to you now in a divine feminine way. Maybe you feel like dancing or singing. If you feel like singing, I encourage you to do that now. And as you do this, I'm just going to send a little bit of Reiki energy towards your heart chakra. I want you to know that you are loved, you're appreciated, you are beautiful, and you are strong, and you are powerful, and you are the divine feminine. You can open up your eyes if you want to, or you can sit in this energy for a while longer. Allow yourself to fully go into a meditation. Feel that energy, feel the magic, feel all the Reiki energy filling up. As you feel your heart chakra spilling out around you. Take as long as you need. But thank you very much. It was my honor. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.